Imagine you're deciding where to build the next 10 years of your life, not where to take a holiday, where you'll work, raise a family, buy a home, build wealth, and hopefully be happier. So here's the real question. Would moving to Australia actually improve your quality of life? Let's find out. Because when you strip away the beaches and the postcards, quality of life usually comes down to 8 things. Can you earn a good income? Can you afford healthcare? Will you feel safe? Will your children have opportunities? Can you enjoy your life outside of work? And Australia performs remarkably well in each of those areas. Let's start with the one most people care about first. Money. According to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, the average full-time worker earns just over 2,050 Australian dollars every week before tax. That's more than 106,000 Australian dollars a year. Now that doesn't mean everyone earns 6 figures. Teachers, electricians, nurses, software engineers, tradespeople, and hospitality workers all earn very different incomes. But Australia's wages are among the highest in the developed world. Now here's the important part. Higher income only matters if it actually improves your life. Australia certainly isn't a cheap country. Rent, groceries, and housing can be expensive. But for many people, those higher wages make it possible to save money, invest, travel, and enjoy experiences that might be harder to afford elsewhere. So the question isn't, is Australia expensive? It's, after paying your bills, what's your quality of life? For millions of Australians, the answer is still very good. Healthcare. Now imagine something happens tomorrow. You fall off your bike, your child breaks an arm, or you suddenly need emergency surgery. In some countries, that can become a financial disaster. In Australia, eligible residents are covered by Medicare, the country's universal healthcare system. Public hospital treatment is generally provided at low or no cost, and Medicare also helps cover many GP visits, specialist services, and prescription medicines. Australia spends more than 270 billion Australian dollars every year on healthcare, around 10,000 Australian dollars per person, which helps support one of the highest life expectancies in the world. That means illness is less likely to become a financial crisis. And that's something you can't really appreciate until you need it. Stability. Money is important, but people also want certainty. Australia has one of the world's longest-running democracies, with peaceful elections, strong institutions, and transparent government. Why does that matter? Because stable governments usually create stable economies. People are more willing to invest, businesses are more willing to hire, and families have greater confidence planning their future. That's one reason Australia has consistently maintained one of the highest living standards in the developed world: time. Here's something people rarely think about before moving countries. Your quality of life isn't just determined by how much money you make. It's determined by how much life you actually get to live. Australia has a strong culture of work-life balance. Most full-time employees receive 4 weeks of paid annual leave, and flexible work arrangements have become increasingly common. That means more weekends with family, more afternoons at the beach, more camping trips, more barbecues, more time actually enjoying the country you're working so hard to live in. Because earning an extra dollar doesn't mean much if you never have time to spend it. Nature. And finally, there's the reason millions of visitors fall in love with Australia before they even think about moving here: nature. Australia contains around 10% of the world's biodiversity, with landscapes ranging from tropical rainforests and coral reefs to alpine mountains and the vast red outback. For many Australians, world-class beaches, national parks, and hiking trails aren't holiday destinations. They're just part of a normal weekend. So, would moving to Australia improve your quality of life? If your priorities are earning potential, accessible healthcare, political stability, a resilient economy, time with family, and easy access to some of the world's most spectacular natural environments, then Australia makes an incredibly strong case. But this raises an even more important question. Because Australia is a huge country, can you actually afford Australia? That's exactly what we'll answer next.